Hello viewers, how are you? Welcome. Today I have decided to tell you an inspirational story again. And this inspirational story is about Gautam Buddha. And as you know, that Gautam Buddha was an ascetic and an enlightened soul. And he was the founder of Buddhism. He spread the message of Buddhism in Asia and eventually became a great saint of Asia. People followed him in his footsteps and tried to take a leap out of his book. Now, it so happened that he was such a great spiritual man that he always tried to preach the gospel of Buddhism among the people. And one day he was preaching the gospel of Buddhism to the disciples. His disciples had been listening to him patiently for hours, and the disciples were very much influenced by his pedantry. It so happened that while he was delivering his speech, while he was preaching his disciples, suddenly a disciple stood up from his seat and started abusing Gautam Buddha. Now, that was indeed an amazing act on part of that disciple because he was not supposed to oppose the preachings of his guru. Now, he not only abused Gautam Buddha but also started taking him to task, and he also started telling him that he was an unreliable impostor because he was not practicing what he was preaching to his disciples. Now, hearing these words, Gautam Buddha was not moved at all. He was sitting peacefully, he was at peace. He did not show any kind of anger towards his disciple. So, the disciple kept speaking angrily, and eventually he decided to spit on the face of Gautam Buddha. Now, that was indeed a grave offense on part of that disciple because he had indeed spat on the face of Gautam Buddha. But Gautam Buddha didn't care for that insult. He did not even get angry at all, and he did not feel insulted. So his face cleaned his face and kept sitting, whereas the disciple started rebuking him again. Now, eventually, it so happened that the disciple thought that my guru is not responding to me at all, so there is no use telling him incessantly. So he decided to left that place and he went to his home. At home, he started realizing that he had committed a grave offense. He had committed a hideous crime of insulting his guru, whereas he had not responded to him. And suddenly, and after some time, his anger was subsided and he was totally at peace with him. Now, at that time, he decided to beg his guru's pardon. So, next day, he rushed to his guru for begging pardon. When he reached the of hermitage of his guru, he found that Gautam Buddha was nowhere there. So he decided to look for his guru. And when he found him after some time, then he prostrated before him and started begging his pardon, saying that he had committed a hideous crime of abusing his guru, and he had his remorse and he was repenting his evil deeds. Now, hearing these words, his guru reacted surprisingly, and he did not even recognize that man. He did not even recognize his disciple, and he asked his disciple who he was and what kind of hideous crime he had committed. Now, that was indeed a surprising reply from Gautam Buddha because Gautam Buddha had even forgotten that disciple, and leaving aside the crime he had committed, he had even forgotten that man. Now, and the disciple told him Guruji, you have just been insulted by me yesterday and now you have forgotten me. So Gautam Buddha told him that revenge is a wild justice and anger kills a man himself. So you had committed a crime yesterday. Now I have forgotten what has happened with me the day before today. Yesterday. Yesterday, if something good has happened with me or something bad has happened with me, I have forgotten everything, because what is ended cannot be mended. What is fated cannot be plotted. And let bygones be bygones. Bygones are bygones. Let's not indulge in remembering or lamenting what has bad happened to us or good has happened to us. Because past is history, future is a mystery, today is a gift. Therefore, we call it present. So, don't ever indulge in repenting if you have inadvertently committed a crime or advertently committed a crime, because in both cases you will not make things right. What is done cannot be undone. So, these are the words which Gautam Buddha preached in his lifetime, and that these words changed the disciple entirely. He turned over a new leaf when he listened to that kind of thinking, that kind of preachings from his guru. And he himself was very much repenting fellow at that time, and he wanted to repent his evil deeds, his guilt. So now Gautam Buddha was of the opinion that had the sin, not the sinner, that if a person has committed a crime, then we must try to reform him and not try to start hating him. So, in that way, this story is very inspirational, and this story tells us that we should not indulge in remembering what has happened with us yesterday and what will happen tomorrow. Both these things are useless for us. Let's live in present and try to do our best in this time. So this story is very useful and very important for us also. So take a leaf out of this story and start enjoying your life. Thank you.